Hello! Hope you had a good week and happy Friday. I don't usually do videos kind of like this, but I saw a few days ago that Street Legal 1 revision is currently in development and is probably going to release in 2022. And if anyone who knows me or has seen much of my channel, you'll see I've done over 100 videos of Street Legal Racing Redline on mods, but also I've completed the career mode with no cheats or mods. So when I found out about this, I had to check it out. Last year or so, I did a video on like the brief history of Street Legal Racing Redline, and I did cover Street Legal 1, but I've never played it before. But I do know that apparently it was very difficult to get running and it was riddled with crashes and glitches. So of course with Street Legal 1 revision, the idea is to eliminate all of these problems and make it run well on a modern system. So so this is really interesting to me, and I'm kind of wanting to find out a bit more about it. So this is going to be interesting. So I think it has, so this has a first person mode too, so that would be quite interesting. What I understand about this is it's going to have more of like a simulator feel, and I think it's going to have more of a flushed out career mode and like a sandbox kind of feel, like you can see here. So it's going to be really interesting to see what it's like when it's released, because I've never played the first game. I just know I've sunk many hours into Street Legal Racing Redline, and so it's going to be quite interesting. I think it's going to be more of a technical type game, managing your car in a different sort of way, in a more of a simulator type way, I suppose. But so I thought it was interesting, since I've only just found out. Oh, own it. That's better. Now I'm followed. No, I'm following. I'm following.
Anyway, let's move on.
So the SLRR. I'm so used to saying SLRR. It's kind of getting me confused every time I'm sort of reading the acronym. But so Project Catch Up. Why revive
Oh dear. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Go back. What's going on?
So back in 2018, we were inspired by G13BA's clean port of the SL1 garages to SLRR version 2.3.1. Oh yeah, and that's it. Apparently, what's happening with this is EvilMcSheep, by the way, that's working on this. And as it goes, funnily, I'm sidetracking again, but as it goes, funnily enough, I have messed around with some of EvilMcSheep's mods on SLRR.
Perfect.
Oh, I'm such an idiot. So apparently what's happening is EvilMcSheep is using the game engine from SLRR, from Street Legal Racing Redline 2.3.1, to kind of recreate Street Legal 1, which is why it's called Street Legal 1 Revision. So the idea is to make it run a lot better, because Street Legal Racing Redline, it's notoriously it's kind of a game that's a little difficult to get running, and it has a lot of crashes and bugs and things. But the idea is to make Street Legal 1, run a lot better on modern systems. So it's going to be quite interesting. So soon after, having been helped by Amilmand in sorting out AI paths, we managed a visually broken but living and totally drivable SL1 Velocity. What is Velocity? Anyway, from there it was clear that the idea had a future, and we have been making slow but steady off-time progress on it for almost 3 years now. So why revive the original Street Legal? We'd call it a game of the vehicular survival genre. Unlike SLRR, you can't just spam repair all to refresh your car after every short drive, but actually you will need a deep dive into the components to do maintenance yourself. Straightening the chassis is not a trivial task either. No, I can imagine. So it's a slower, more thoughtful experience that fans of the more sandbox-friendly nature of SLRR may even find tedious. But luckily for them, and everyone else for that matter, the street racing itself is anything but that. Here, the career's progression is not just a question of having a big engine and a lead foot. You'll never know where the next point-to-point race will take you. As rewards, you'll unlock new areas of the city, new cars, new engine types, keeping your career journey fresh and interesting. So this sounds pretty interesting to me. It's like a different spin. For any of us who have not played the first one, I think this is going to be quite fun, because it takes what we know about Street Legal Racing Redline and puts it into like a bit of a different idea. So it's going to be it's going to be fun, I think. So if you played SL1 before, unfortunately I haven't, you definitely know how terribly unstable it was. It's worse than playing an older version of SLRR before the patches. Not only you'd be fighting to keep your car alive, but the game itself too. Yeah, well, I've had my experience with crashes, SLRR. Let's see if we get any of those errors. Like, oh, no! Oh, wait!
Perfect. Outstanding.
We don't want any more of that. I better not get any more of that. So anyway, so I wasn't going to read every single part of this, but I just wanted to have a little look at some of these updates. So, oh yeah, there we go, first person mode. So fully functional conventional walking mode, walking simulator, physically simulated body hole, WASD to move, space to jump, and shift to run. You'll be running around with all the pedestrians. I'll be like chilling out with all the pedestrians. Left mouse button to move parts, right mouse button to interaction. Okay, so it's more of a flushed out kind of simulator sort of thing. Supports the basic car building actions. Sit in any seat of the car. Of course, you can sit in the back. That'd be quite fun, be a backseat driver. Use the mouse or keys to look around whilst driving in first person. That was something that SLRR didn't have. I always forgot how to look back. It was kind of, I could never look back. It's kind of weird. So movement fine-tuned along a long-time FPS player. Oh, okay, that's cool. So the project is moving to full-time development with hopes of releasing this year. So that was, I think this was August. Was it August or so? 2021? June. Okay, I was almost there. So detailed list of things to come, crowdfunding info and trailers to come. Very cool. Okay, so yeah, so here's the crowdfunding stuff. So you can also, I think the crowdfunding might have stopped now, but you can go onto Patreon and back. So if you're not a bottle trader, check out the game. If you're not a bottle trader, check out the game in motion instead. All right, I don't think I've been trading bottles, but I must be missing the joke somewhere. But anyway, okay, yeah, so some of the footage here looks pretty interesting. So it's a bit more of like a kind of more flushed out simulator. I recognise this dude. Like they still run away from the car. It's quite funny. Mind you, I would if I was them, knowing how the AI normally drives. But I don't know what this is going to be like. I think it's going to be interesting. So this will be, yeah. So I believe at the moment I think development has kind of slowed down a bit, and I think the release date will be more like 2022 now, I think. So I thought it'd be fun, it'd be interesting just to see some of the updates. I think would be quite interesting. Okay, so progress update 1, remaking and improving the painter and doing some various other fixes and improvements. I wasn't going to go through every single part, but so it's not more painter refinements complete. You can now cheat at art and more. I like to cheat at art. Making friends between painter and first person mode, so you better paint in first person mode, so that would be good. So more painter progress and technical stuff. First person mode after sprinting shift must now be briefly pressed to be able to stand on toes. I don't know if I've ever played a game where you can stand on your toes. Very cool. So crowdfunding is 50% off, so if you want to support the game, you can donate, I think it's $1 or $2 to have your name credited somewhere in the game. And I think it's something like $5 to actually be a pedestrian, which would be fun. And it's $20 for something else that I can't remember what, but we'll get there. So painter work is done. Awesome. So your first person painting needs while standing on your tiptoes is all sorted. So proper city limits, so various technical prep. So bugs fixed by instant destruction and replacement with play vehicles. So it's like, literally, it's like, this is like almost like a version 2 of like the initial Street Legal 1. And so all these problems that the first game had, which hopefully are all going to be fixed here. It's going to be really cool. Exploration and experiments with ancient versions. So what they've done is they've gone through all of the old versions of SL1 and pulled out anything they thought was interesting by the looks of things. So that's going to be quite interesting. So it's a real revamp, proper revisit. So functional city limits for racing, various UI and console improvements. So there's quite a lot of work going into this. Boring menus and background madness. Fix and broken textures. So number key support for navigation and pedestrians. Talk dialogue boxes. So you can talk to peds now. You can talk to pedestrians. Very cool. Garage gimmicks, confused robots. Alright, so some work for the garage, and I wasn't going to get into every single part of it, but the links will be in the description if you want to go check it out for yourself. So list of changes go general speed up of opponent AI. Okay, traffic no longer stops past the line at intersections. Traffic no longer stops past the line. Oh, I see. So the traffic now stops where it's supposed to. Very good. So AI work for Valor. So the city, redone traffic, more SL1 accurate traffic lane. Okay, cleaned up unnecessary spline segmentation. Yeah, you've got to make sure you sort out the spline segmentation. Now we get to September, and so this was the thing I was briefly mentioning earlier. So it looks like the production or the development is kind of on hold, or it's at least slowed down, because unfortunately it seems that the crowdfunding has sort of slowed down a bit, so the development has, sadly. So that's a bit of a shame. But hopefully, more people get involved and they can finish the development. Because I'm looking forward to seeing this. I think, like we said, it's going to be 2022. So now, this is the latest update. So the release has been delayed to 2022. Oops. Oh, we'll look at it this way then. That'd be fine. So due to long-term crowding performance being below expectations, we now lack the funds to continue the work and have no other option than to put it on hold, delaying the release until 2022. Development will continue. We have accumulated the funds, when we've accumulated the funds to finish the game. So when exactly might development resume? It's hard to estimate, but we hope to resume work within 6 months or less. Sounds like bad planning. How did you screw this up? We had put a lot of hope in crowdfunding as a major supporting factor in carrying the game to release. A lot of work went into offering interesting rewards, expecting specifically the creator pedestrian reward to have a lot more mass appeal, being aggressively priced and offering something totally unique. We got some generous tier 3 contributions indeed, but small donations totally underperforms and not adding up anywhere near as we had hoped. For example, within the last 10 days, crowdfunding had brought in 3 donations totaling $11.84. We're certainly thankful for these people, but it's clear that development simply cannot be sustained at this rate. Perhaps the problem is the whole campaign being over-designed. Either way, huge thank you to those who donated and helped us get this far. So it sounds like they're really redesigning the career mode to kind of create something satisfying and interesting and fun to do. Is the game dead? No, a lot of time and money has gone into the project over the last 3 years, but it would be obviously a huge shame to throw it all out. I agree completely. Sooner or later, SLRR will be released. So can I help? You can still help the crowdfunding rewards and anything collected there to be put aside specifically for SLR1 so we may resume. Awesome. So any more updates? Alright, here you go. Weekly update. Major progress in figuring out the AI issues mentioned last week, but no fix yet. To be continued. If you want to support the development, get involved. The links will be in the description. Definitely considering supporting them myself because I'd love to see this. You've got PayPal, Ko-Fi, other pricing rewards. So $1 gets your nickname in the credits. Tier 2, $5 gets you to be a pedestrian. You can design a pedestrian, so that would be fun. So for $20, it's the same as before, but you have more space for your pedestrian. Expanded credits entry. You can display your name, your country, flag. Okay, that's pretty cool. If you want to support them, that's $20. So all the links will be there. I think this is going to be quite fun. I just thought I'd try a different type of video since I didn't manage to do one last week because I haven't been feeling well for about a week and a half. And at least this, instead of live streaming, I can edit out any coughs. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing this video with a friend, so that's going to be quite fun. Hopefully that's going to be edited and up soon. It's going to be like a whole interview type thing about my car, because my car has a bit of a story to it, so that'd be quite fun. And also, before my family comes to visit next weekend, I really want to try and get another video done between now and then, because when they're out with some birthdays and family stuff happening, I might not have the time to do a video. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Whoever you are, wherever you are, have an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next one.